Hey guys, it's Tom from Sia Jones here. I'm here with our resident expert, Elliot.
Hey guys.
And today we've got an unboxing of the new, or relatively new, Inspire 2 here. We're going to be going through all the parts. Elliot's going to be giving us a bit of in-depth detail on what each part is for and all the accessories. And then we're going to put it in one of our new GPC Inspire 2 cases. Yeah, so first thing we noticed with the Inspire 2 is it comes in a different case than the regular Inspire 1. What's different about it?
So the big difference with this new Inspire 2 case is that it's got these ratchets on the front here that you can see. So there's 6 clips on the case, and they basically are a much better, much more secure locking system than the previous zip. So the previous zip used to just fall apart, and we had a lot of customers that were pretty upset with the case, not being able to withstand the daily use, I guess. So we can get it open now, and we'll be able to see that there's good clips to do the shit.
There we go.
So, and then in the case we've got the Inspire 2, we've got the remote controller here. On the front here there's a charging hub. We've got the 2 individual batteries, so this Inspire 2 takes 2 instead of the Inspire 1, which used to just have the single battery. And then we've got a power supply unit underneath here as well, which goes into that charging hub.
Awesome. So, Inspire 2, it looks like a pretty similar form factor to the Inspire 1, but obviously big difference, it's black. What else is the big differences about it?
So I guess the first thing that would kind of draw your eye to it is the FPV camera on the front there with the obstacle collision avoidance as well. So having an FPV camera was one of the modifications that a lot of people were doing to their Inspire 1s, and that just lets the camera operator control the main camera, and then lets the pilot control and see where they're going basically. So that's got it can look forward or down, and you can basically change that in flight, which is fantastic.
So previously the pilot would only see what the camera was looking at, not what the drone was looking at.
So if you wanted to turn the craft, if you wanted to turn the camera to face a subject on your left-hand side, then the pilot would basically have to use that view. So for orientation purposes, having a second camera there that's fixed forward or down is very beneficial.
Okay. So I noticed another big difference is we've got 2 batteries that come with it, and they both go in at once.
Yeah.
Why? What benefits do you get from having 2 batteries instead of just the one?
So having dual battery redundancies is a big safety factor, I guess. It basically allows a more safe operation, effectively. Having 2 smaller batteries also gives you the ability to have more power to the craft. So instead of having one battery that's too big to carry on a commercial aircraft, you can take these TB50s on commercial flights with you with no troubles.
Okay. And with the Inspire 1 you had TB47 and 48. Is there going to be, or have they already released a higher capacity battery for these, or is we just with
So there is another battery. There's a TB55, but it's not compatible with the Inspire 2. The TB55s are designed similar design principle, but they're designed specifically for the Matrice 210 rather than the Inspire ones.
And what sort of flight time are we looking with the 2 batteries? Does it improve much of the flight time? Or?
Yeah, drastically. So instead of having a 15 to 20 minute flight time with the Inspire 1, with the Inspire 2, with these batteries, you get about 25 to 30 minutes out of a set of batteries. So they're paired, and then they work together as one pair of batteries. And then, you get about half an hour on them, which is a fantastic improvement on previous batteries.
Awesome. And as well as the batteries, we've got this little nifty little thing, bit different to what any other parts we've seen before. What's this?
So this bit is the Inspire 2 charging hub. So this works in combination with the Inspire 2 battery charger, and you basically press these buttons and it clicks out a pair of charging hub ports. So you can put your pair of batteries in, and then you can charge 4 batteries at a time, which is great. You can charge 4 batteries on the charging hub, and it does them in pairs. So it'll do 2 batteries and then the other 2 batteries, and so it's nice and convenient.
Awesome. So obviously to get the drone off the ground, we need some props.
That's it.
Are there any difference between the props that these ones come with than the Inspire 1?
Yeah, so they actually share a design feature to the most recent Inspire 1 propellers. They're a little bit bigger. If you were to put the Inspire 1 propellers on here, then you would see that they do kind of the Inspire 1 propellers are a little bit shorter, whereas the Inspire 2 props are quite big. They do come quite close to the hull of the craft, so when you've got the aircraft in landing mode, it basically comes within a couple of inches of the hull. But they're a little bit bigger, obviously, because the craft's a bit bigger. It's a little bit heavier. The Inspire 2 obviously does have the choice of having a larger camera or a smaller camera, so it does need that ability to have a bit more thrust when it does have the heavier camera, the X5S on there as well.
Right, and so do we just get the one set with the group, or?
So you do get 2 sets of propellers with the Inspire 2, so there's 2 full sets of 4.
Yeah, so it gets spare pairs.
So one set for flight and 1 spare set. So,
awesome.
And they just click in, so instead of having the old push to twist, you have the a twist and lock in like that. So you line up the red arrows together, and then you place the propeller on, and then you line up the arrows again, and that's you good to go.
Awesome. No more spinning propellers.
No more lost props. That's it. So nice and secure.
So next we got the controller. Again, pretty similar form factor to the Inspire 1. Obviously, we've got the nice clean grey color scheme to match the drone itself. Are there any other big differences between this and the old one?
So with the Inspire 2 remote control, it does have a much nicer mounting bracket for the iPad mount, but apart from that, they're pretty similar. You've got the HDMI board built in on the back there as well, so that means that you don't have to buy that as an optional extra, which is nice. There is also a second remote controller that's coming out in the next little while called the Sendence. So that's basically a beefed up version of this. It's got a lot more control over all the different parameters, and it basically integrates perfectly with the new Crystal Sky as well, which is an upgraded screen basically that's super bright and means that in full sun you can use it and still see everything that you're doing.
And I would assume that just like the Inspire 1, you can have a master and a slave controlling going at the same time?
Correct, yeah. So you can have if you were buying the Inspire 2, you could always buy the standard package with the standard remote controller and then get the Sendence as an upgrade. And you can mix and match, so you can use the Sendence as your master or your slave, depending on your style of shooting and how you work with your co-pilot. And then I guess there is also another product that's being released in the next little while as well called the Inspire 2 Raw.
Yeah.
So that will actually come with the Sendence remote controller instead of the stock remote control. So means you can get it all in one little bundle, which is nice.
Awesome. So one of the most important things with these DJI drones obviously is the camera. You want to be able to film what the drone's seeing. We've got the Zenmuse X5S here. But you also have the option of the X4S on the drone.
Yeah, so the standard camera for it is the X4S. It's a little bit cheaper, which is kind of good for an entry level person. And then if you are serious about your imagery, then this is what you want to be looking at. So the X5S has got interchangeable lenses. It's got a micro 4/3 inch sensor on it, and it's just a very capable camera. Yeah,
and so the other thing we got here is these DJI Cine SSDs, so obviously solid state drives for capturing your footage onto. The drone does come with an SD card slot on it, so why do they market these SSDs?
So to really utilize this camera, you can shoot in up to 5.2K video, so you can shoot in Cinema DNG or Apple ProRes. So to be able to use those file formats, those codecs, you do have to use the Cine SSDs. So on the back of the craft, there's a slot where you can stick the SSD cards in, which we'll go through a bit later. But basically, to get the most out of the aircraft and really unleash its potential, you want to be using the X5S with the SSDs.
So is the reason you need these SSDs that based on the file size of the larger codecs? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. So the file sizes that some of these codecs put out is ridiculous. So you get a lot of detail there, and that obviously translates to file size. So the options for you with the SSDs are there's a 120, a 480, or a 240 gigabyte SSD. Yeah. So one other thing that you might be wanting to consider if you were looking at an Inspire is a set of filters. So these filters basically help you control the amount of light that gets through to your camera, and means that you can control exactly how your footage looks. Yeah. So if you are operating in areas where you've got reflective surfaces, the polarizers are great. So we've got a circular polarizer, an ND8 or an ND16 with polarizers built in. So that just means if you're operating around the snow or by the beach, which is obviously quite common around Australia,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, you can work in nice lighting conditions.
And these are by our favourite Polar Pro, make really great filters.
That's it. They come with a nice little hard case for them as well, so it keeps them nice and safe when you're traveling, which is good.
Awesome. So unboxing the Zenmuse X5S here. Comes in quite a nifty little box here. Offers quite a bit of protection, nice and hard.
Yeah.
Open up here, see the inside.
So the Inspire 2 X5S does come with interchangeable lenses. So you can detach the lens, and then you can see here that you've got a separate camera lens and the camera. So the X5S does have that micro 4/3 inch sensor, which is fantastic. The beauty of having interchangeable lenses is that you can have a lot of flexibility there. So it comes with a stock 15mm lens, and then that's a relatively wide field of view, but it's perfectly manageable.
Yeah.
I guess there are a few different lenses that are approved by DJI, so you could go from as wide as a 12mm lens right through to a 45mm lens with a couple of different zoom options in between as well. And just having that flexibility means that if you're out on a shoot, you can really zoom in and get a bit more action, a bit closer to the action. Or if you're doing more scenic shots, then you can swap across the 15mm or a 12mm lens, and gives you that flexibility.
Awesome. So as with all the products DJI is releasing at the moment, they offer their form of crash protection, the Care Refresh. I'm assuming that's available on the Inspire 2 as well?
Yeah, definitely. So with the Inspire 2, it is eligible for Care Refresh. All of their consumer drones and some of the prosumer drones are eligible for it. So the Care Refresh is something that basically you can activate within 48 hours, and it gives you cover for damage. If you drop it, you break it, you spill your drink on it, it's all covered. So as long as you get that craft back, you can send it back to DJI, and they'll actually provide you with a replacement for relatively little cost. So it works out at roughly 10% of the purchase price of the drone, and then if the first time you make a claim, it's about 10% the first time and a bit more than 10% the second time, but it's great to have that peace of mind.
Yeah, for sure. Does that cover the camera as well?
So with the Inspire 2, because it does have that interchangeable camera option, they don't want to make you buy cover for an expensive camera if you've got the cheaper version. So the camera does have its own separate Care Refresh product.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
awesome. So we saw the case that the Inspire 2 came in. Obviously, a big improvement on the previous iteration, the Inspire 1. But today we're going to be packing it into one of the GPC GoProfessional hard cases. What benefits do you get from this third-party hard case over the one that the drone comes in?
Well, I guess the first thing is a bit of a no-brainer, is that it's tough as all hell. So these cases are waterproof, dustproof, shockproof. They've even got molding with protection as well. So if you're operating in and around water or in and around a salty environment, these will help provide that little bit of extra protection. For transit as well, if you're going on a plane, being able to chuck your drone into a case and know that it's going to get to the other end more safe than if you were to use the stock case is great. So all the foam is all water jet precision cut foam, so it's perfectly suited to the Inspire 2. It means that it's nice and snug and it's not going to rattle around when you're traveling from A to B.
So we're about to show you the process of packing everything from the Inspire 2 package into the GPC case. Elliot, I know you've got the Inspire 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. How jealous are you of this kit?
Oh, I think I'm about an 11. Really, it's fantastic. I'm really keen to get one myself and get it up in the air.
All right, let's see how we pack it all up. So we finished packing up all the Inspire 2 gear inside our GPC case. You can see, fits everything in there plus a bit extra. We still got space to spare. Looks like we can fit up to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 plus including the 2 on the drone batteries, 2 controllers, all the other accessories.
We've also got space for a couple of extra charging hubs underneath the remote controllers as well, which is nice. You can get 4 SSD cards in there, which is cool. And then SSD station, you can get both of your iPads in there and a bunch of props and extra bits and pieces.
Yeah, so definitely set up for that master-slave controller
Definitely.
setup. Yeah, worth noting that we did put the Inspire 2 in landing mode for this case, so it is a bit deeper than you would get on your the one that it comes with. But yeah, we can definitely see, you know, how precisely cut the foam is. Very sturdy case, and a similar locking system that you get on the standard one with the clips that keep it nice and snug.
Nice and secure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing and reboxing video of the DJI Inspire 2. We'll have more content coming your way soon. Thanks to Elliot for helping me out in this one. I'm Tom, and we'll see you next time.